Hi everyone, so here we have a little video on tip application. I've done this on a client whose previous set I have filed off and I'm now starting afresh. So I'm going to show you first of all from a side view. Now I file my nail, give it a quick dust, but I don't do any prep, prime or anything like that until the tips are all on. So, oh dear, put my phone on silent. So that's why you can see like a little bit of dust and stuff in the corners, because I haven't entirely finished prep before I put my tips on. So when you're sizing up a tip, you need to make sure that not just like when you hold it from above, it looks like it fits. You need to put one corner into another. So start at one side wall and then kind of like roll the tip across, because a lot of the time when you look from above and just place the tip in the middle of the nail, it will look like the tip fits, but when you roll it from one side wall to the other, you'll find that there's a little 1 or 2 millimeter gap. So always make sure that it fits perfectly from side to side. And then I'm using my CJP gripper glue. I also like NSI glue, that's good as well. And I'm putting a tiny bit of glue just on the tip, and then I'm popping that nail on like 2 or 3 millimeters on the very tip, popping the tip about 2 or 3 millimeters on the edge of, on the tip of the nail, sorry. And then I hold it for about a count of 5, and then I will put my thumbs into the side walls to make sure they have adhered properly as well. So first of all I stick it down in the middle, and then I make sure the side walls are stuck too. Now as for tips, I do prefer to have the well-less tips, because you're good to go. So as soon as I've put these tips on, I will trim down and then I'm ready to go. There's no faffing about. I don't need to blend the tip in. Because I work with acrylic, I don't need to buff the tips. I can just work straight on with acrylic. You don't need to buff if you're using acrylic. If you're using gel, then yes, you need to buff. But otherwise, just go straight for it. And then when I've finished applying these, I'm going to get my... oh, I've got to do the thumbnail first. So just checking the size, that had a little gap, so I picked up a bigger one. There you go, you see how that fit in better than the first time. A little bit of glue, placing on the centre, holding there for about the count of 5, and then coming in making sure the side walls have stuck. I'm coming in with my tip cutters. Make sure you support that tip and hold that end bit, because you don't want that to go flying off everywhere. And when I cut my tips, I also make sure that I do them the same length for both hands. So I cut one hand down, make sure the client's happy with that, and then I will get the other hand and I will hold the corresponding finger up next to it and then trim down so it's the same length. So I think at this point, yeah, I'm going to keep going in and out of shot, but can you see I hold the 2 fingers next to each other and then get the right length. Getting an extreme close-up of my finger tattoo there. And don't worry, in a minute we're going to switch to the view from above. And then what I'll do is, because she wants a kind of almond shape, I get my scissors and I just trim the edges. So I cut it into kind of a slight coffin shape, and then I leave it, and then I file it once all the acrylic design is on. Oh, excuse me, having a little yawn there. So I don't spend ages filing it into shape, because I personally think that when you place a tip on and then you file it, that turns my stomach. That feels really uncomfortable when you've got a tip glued to you and it's like being pushed about like that. So you can see again from the top, rolling it from one corner to the other of that nail, making sure that it's a good fit. And sometimes when you do this and you correctly fit a tip, it can look a little wide, but don't worry, because when you pinch and file and everything, it's going to look fine. But it's much better than ending up with that little step you'll often get in the side of the nail from where you haven't used a correctly fitting tip. So here you're going to see exactly what you've just seen me do, but I had a camera filming from above as well. And if you have a little too much glue, I always dab my tip just on the kitchen towel, just to take off any excess glue. And then holding, and then to the next. Rolling it from one corner to the other, making sure that fits correctly, and then popping on that little bit of glue, placing the centre, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and side walls. So I just got in the habit of like doing a countdown from 5, but that seems to work quite well. And I get asked a lot, how do you choose between a sculpt and a tip? To be honest, I more often than not sculpt. But every now and then I like to do a set of tips, just to keep my hand in. Because I try not to, I think when we work so hard to get a new skill, it's important to every now and then just practice it, to remind yourself how to do it, and so you don't forget. I had someone ask the other day, what do my clients prefer? To be honest, my clients have been with me so long now, they pretty much get what they're given. But to be honest, for salon nails with your average nail, I personally find it makes very little difference doing tips and sculpts. So I will just kind of do however I feel on the day. Obviously with extremely bitten nails, and some nails like that are damaged from biting or any other things, sculpting will be the best choice. Sorry, I'm yawning away. It's been another long day, guys. I'm just snuggled up on the couch with the piglet at the moment, doing the voiceovers, and I'm a little too comfy. As you can see, holding them next to each other, make sure that they're the same length. And this was something I was asked the other day. I'm not lining up the nails from the cuticle, I'm lining up the free edge to make sure that the free edges are the same, so the length of the nail looks right. As you can see, just coming in and nipping off those excess. So I hope you guys have found this useful. Any questions, comments, constructive criticism, pop it all below. Pop any requests there too. So thanks for tuning in. Bye.